Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And this is a blessed Tuesday, a Tuesday we took off last Tuesday because of some traveling going on. But we're back to doing what we do best on Tuesday, and that is having the poetry corner. And tonight we have four poets right now, and we have some more that will be joining us shortly. They might be on West Coast time, but hopefully they'll join us. This is going to be an interesting show because these four poets, I one we know is King Atterbury. The other three haven't really been on the show as much as I would like them to be on the show. So we're going to start with the brother Mojave. Mojave, I didn't get a chance before. Explain your background, explain how long you've been in the poetry, and so forth and so
on. This is going to sound crazy. I don't want to sound crazy while I'm saying it, but I've been involved in poetry all my life. I literally wrote because I couldn't really talk the way that I wanted to. And so my father, knowing this, gave me a leather-bound book to write my poetry in. And so I had always written. One of the greatest crimes that ever happened to me was I would write poetry and people didn't believe that I wrote it. They would not. I had a seventh grade music teacher who told me to label all my poems anonymous because she really didn't believe that I wrote them. And I feel like that's one of the greatest things that you do. One of the greatest crimes you could ever do anything. But as far as building, and creating, and bringing poetry into existence, I've done many different organizations. I founded a Black poetry thing in my city known as Soul Kitchen. I did that for quite some time. A lot of poets came out of there. Currently, I'm the chief mischief maker of Erotica Slam, which will be renamed Love and Erotic Poetry, which is the nationwide network of erotic poets, writers, authors, storytellers, and people who like erotic things. I also am the CEO of Urban Guerrilla Theater, which is a poetry spoken word based company based around the idea of poetry begets freedom. I am the chief principal of Visionary Arts LLC. I am also one of the poets from Epiphany Radio Universe, and I host 3 different podcasts on Tuesdays, which is War Council, the Hidden Radio Show, and of course the erotic poetry series known as Donnie Tripper.
Well, that's great. Glad you could join us. Glad you could spare some of your time to come on the Poetry Corner. You can start us off, brother.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. All right. All right. 1. When you feel her for the first time, you will recall the happiest moments in your life. She will breathe with you and through you, edging your soul to the brink with no hands, only her eyes, her energy, and smile. 2. When you meet her, you will stand in a room next to another empath and feel the complete essence of her presence. You will leave quickly, excusing yourself while trying to make sense of her pure, unadulterated energy. 3. When you are exchanging energy intimately, you will wonder how a goddess came to lay with you, giving you her divine nectar that when you release, you gain energy and become free. Her river's sweet and she heals you with kisses of hips, and you cannot explain the mutual bliss. 4. You will see her in complete darkness, radiant aura exposed. She will pray over you, place stones dry that become wet with energy. Sorrow will leave your spine. She will tell you the time that she met before time, while she was waiting to hear your aurora borealis, feel her love and the taste of her time. 5. You will find her in between your blinks and breaths. Love that you had never known. You will hear the magnificence that you have forgotten heartbreaks old. You will become entranced by her spirit floating freely amongst your tribe, and she will see you across the room, smile, and remind you that you were mine. 6. She leaves, and she doesn't want to go. You do not want her to go. You feel the pit of your stomach begin to hurt you so. You feel her absence immediately. The air in the room is no longer light. The gray, rainy day illustrates your plight. 7. You miss her and everything about her. You feel lost and left, bereft of her. She sends her acknowledgement in the missing of you. How you both miss the kiss that make you both feel light. To her, she's a melody that dances on sweet midnights. How real is her reality? The virtual virtuoso fire beating in your torso, twisting every fiber of your DNA. You never thought that you could love this way. So there's a plan to expand. The souls meet again and longer, so they sojourn together for love, woman, and man. And peace.
God,
Yes.
I like that. I like
All
that.
right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Hey, Gina, I don't have a video on you. Are you there?
I'm here.
No video today, or just audio?
I'm coming back. I had to go and make sure my grandchildren were cooperating with the program.
Oh, okay. Edwina, we're gonna start off. We're gonna kick it off with you next.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Edwina Simmons. I'm new to spoken word. I've written since I was a really small kid, just as a way to, kind of express myself because, I grew up in a really huge family. Lost my parents early, and my aunt had 9 children, plus myself, my brother, and another cousin in Prince Street Projects in Newark. So to have a voice at all was,
Ooh.
you know, written on little pieces of paper that I kind of hid things that I didn't feel comfortable saying. Until recently, Sharita Simmons, one of the co-authors of King's most recent book, uh, they, reached out and invited me onto the show, and I've just kind of been enjoying the atmosphere of meeting really, really great poets and authors, and watching you guys journey and getting encouraged to do it a little more myself. So today, the piece that I brought on, sorry, it ran a little long because it's something that's near and dear to my heart, which is hip hop music and the influence that hip hop has on your writing. And as I said, where I grew up, the music was a big part of it. I see it from a different place. I don't see it from the violence and everything that is usually associated with the music. It's more so, you know, those are first lessons in positive affirmations and seeing examples of people having largesse when you're not in those circumstances. And at any rate, going into the subject is what inspired this piece, and I've been writing on it since the show, since we talked about it the other day. Okay, it's called Rebel Rising. In so many ways, I see hip hop raised me. Searched through the rubble to find the rebel. Hip hop spoke to the souls of lost gods wandering the ghetto. Hip hop is the drinking gourd, screaming, poverty is not some sort of reward. Hip hop questions every sword and every institution the evil's forged. Hip hop raised me. The blood of my blood fertilized the industry's money trees. In hip hop, young seeds can hear the missing melodies, a staccato siren nursery rhyme, bullet drum beat. The boom and the bit mean something different to me. The hood vibe you glorified rocked me to sleep, reminded me, look beyond what you see. There is life of luxury that looks a lot like me, even for those snot-nosed mini-me's who cut sugar water, milk teeth on Project Concrete. Hip hop raised me, renamed me every nigga they claimed me to be, gave magic back to the curses they sent for me. Hip hop is the missing key, screaming, sis, come the hell undone. This false narrative is not the only one. Bop with me, throw your hands in the air. The co- I'm sorry, the curse in the city is a bully, and life ain't fair. Don't get lost, be cautious. There is just us in peace. When the laws of man fail us, she sounds the rally cries in the streets. Hip hop is a call to the revolutionary. Handpicked, embarrassingly lavish affirmations for an otherwise lack mentality. Told me abundance is everywhere, black girl be. Acknowledge that you are better than the circumstances you see. Hip hop resides within my bones, so I have faith in me because my hip hop is a soul type glow, ever raising the vibrations of the ghetto. Hip hop speaks to the have-somes and the have-nots. She's a running renegade mentality for Black thought. Hip-hop gives insight to the ones that just don't fit right, reminding us rebellion just might be our only birthright. Hip-hop is a vibration, searching the beat and you'll find we living and we dying at the same damn time. Hip-hop is uncensored truth, the point of view of the young Black youth. Hip-hop is a billion-dollar cultural industry feasted upon by gnashing teeth. If you view hip-hop religiously, you'll see it mainlines truth to all who seek, even amongst the watered down, sugar titty, rump shaking of feeling uncensored and free. Though mama's fighting demons and we all got PTSD, we could build our own free enterprise like Dame Dash and Jay-Z. You can get it out the mud if you only believe. This is the hip hop that raised me and remains a soul type glow, mainline in truth and hope to the blind gods wandering the ghetto. I mean, hip hop gave us Tupac, whose prophecy explains you don't have to change the game, but you got to fight for change. Hip hop gave us Planet Rock, Black Thought. My boo hip hop reminds me that when the beat drop, if I don't stop, I might just mess around and get it. Yes, my hip hop gives me a soul type glow. Souls wandering the ghetto blindly. Hip hop gives direction to the movement, humming, seep the vibe and you'll find me. Hip hop has always given voice to the heart of the rebel rising. And that's peace. Thank you.
Wow.
Sorry, I got lost.
Hip hop, hip hop.
Hip hop.
Okay, Brian.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
So, to address quickly the hip hop question, hip hop, of course, started with breakdancing with me because I'm old enough to be at the beginning of all that. Then from breakdancing, I started to rap. I was in a couple of groups that warmed up for DC legends like Chuck Brown, Little Benny and the Masters. There's a host of other groups that were around at the time. And I used to be a trumpet player. I used to rap too. And our little group, the group was doing well. And then when the group broke up, one of us went up to Philly. I think he went to Philly, started working for Vibe magazine. Then the next thing you know, I saw him on TV. His brother, I think his real name is Kevin. But it was a group called Diggable Planets. I don't know if y'all remember that. Way back in the day, had a song called Cool Like That. So all of us was like, yo, hey, you're going to come back for us. It's over with. We're going to be stars. And of course, he didn't, because just because you sign a record deal don't mean you got the money first. You know what I'm saying? It took, 2 or 3 albums before you start making money back. So by that time, what you going to do? So, but to start the poetry, I'm going to just thought I had to go to the crates because it's the beginning of this year. But
hey, Brian.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, before the show, you had showed us some things that you had. Explain to the audience about your books.
Oh well, presently this year I've been in about 20 to 25 publications, but they're all anthologies that I was blessed to be included with. As I was saying, I had some of them that came in today. A couple copies of some of the stuff that I was doing. All of it can be found on Amazon. It's too many to name all of them, to be honest with you.
And I know one of the things that you had told me before, you do a lot of public speaking. When did you get into that? When did that start?
Actually, to be totally honest, it extends from the rap because I was performing and things of that nature, and then I started to go into poetry readings and things. And then I was in my youth hooked up with somebody that was publishing me on Ghanaian television over in Africa and Europe and things of that nature. But then I had a family, so that money wasn't consistent, so I had to bring in something consistent. So I put all that on the shelf. But last year I returned to writing. And as I said earlier, I won a United Nations award, for poetry, among other awards, national awards. And then I started speaking at universities and things of that nature. All subjects from autism to hunger, world hunger, anything positive, I'm into it. And I've been blessed to know a lot of people that have been giving me opportunities to speak at universities and things, which is really funny because, just to be honest, I have a GED. I had all these kids. I had to work. I tried to go to college 5 times. I failed. But so it's funny how God works, because I got a GED, but I'm speaking to people with PhDs and masters and all of that. So it's really amazing.
Yeah. You didn't fail though. You never failed.
Oh, no. My first duty was to take care of those babies,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And my wife.
And so. you got a PhD on realism, so you could always explain the experience, like which is amazing with hip hop, and King choosing the subject is that hip hop, when I found out that it was actually taught in colleges, it kind of made me laugh, and I'm like, huh? And I didn't understand it, but when you sit back and think about it, those of us of a certain age, we know the genesis of it, and a lot of the younger generation really don't know how it ties with the culture. They just think that it's just a genre of music, and it's a little bit more than that. So, that's a good thing.
Absolutely, and it's good you bring that up. Rap is tied in with spoken word. We didn't invent rap. The brothers in New York just brought it back, and they added a flavor to it. But back in Africa, we were doing spoken words to rhythms and things, and in Saudi Arabia, in Mecca, all over the world, this was happening. But you must give credit to the brothers in New York for bringing it back and adding that flavor to it. But rap itself is just spoken words over rhythms. But they just add that flavor that really put us on the map, as African Americans, so and Latino, excuse me, as well.
All right, you good, Brian?
All right. Well, I'm just gonna, like I said, I had to dig into the crates, so to speak. But I have a little piece that I wrote for my daughter when she was a little girl. It's called Cradle Princess. So I'll go right into that one. Cradle Princess. Cradle Princess of cinnamon and nutmeg, lay tenderly without a sound, as I whisper in your ear, you are my special one. Years bring the joy of a father's love, so faithfully I bring cookies to the room, wallpapered in pink flowers, even when you misbehave. Left kiss, right kiss, hug and go. You are brother bashing. You are candy stashing. On your bike, you ride away to find mystery. I die inside until you return. A bittersweet heartbreak, a father's weakness. While I am resting, your giggles wakes me, just for a moment, and I feel elation to know that you are safe and happy. You blossom as I close my eyes and fall to rest smiling. You are my special one. In peace.
Like that. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is so beautiful.
definitely. Mama, you there? Gina Storm.
Are you muted?
I was muted.
No, Gina, you good? I just wanted to make sure Mama was there, but I see she popped in the studio, but she wasn't there.
She'll be back. Sometimes it's the process. She has a lot of moving parts, and so do I.
Happy New Year, Gina Storm.
Happy New Year, Quinn.
I know the New Year starts a little later than most out in Chi-Town, so
Woo. We on CPT.
how's everything?
In Chicago time, I'm on time. I
Okay.
ain't never late. if you in the shy, you on time.
Hey, Brian, your microphone might be muted. Yeah, Brian, your microphone is muted on your end. You good, Gina? You up, Gina Storm?
Oh, my bad. I had muted myself. Look, I was
Yeah.
trying to be. Look, I was trying. I was trying to be gracious. I'm like, let me be quiet. It's not even my turn. Okay, okay. So the hip hop thing speaks to me just like the food show did. I'm as much a foodie as I am a hip hop head. And there have been times in my life when I learned about a new artist due to my mom because she was in it. Like I'm talking about ground zero. She was out there with like Africa Bombada and telling me that I needed to listen to more hip hop because since about the fourth grade, I've been writing poetry. And she said, lyrics are lyrics, words are words. You're a wordologist. You may not be an MC, you may never be a poet, you may never be a rapper, but there's something inside of you that language speaks to, and you need to honor it. And it came in the form of poetry. I wanted to be a rapper. I did really did. Like I had these salt and pepper aspirations with me and my cousin Katrina, and we were going to be, she was Lady K and I was Baby Girl, which right now when I think about it and I say the words out loud, it still makes me laugh. But the reality was hip hop was in my DNA. It was part of who I was meant to be. My brothers were like Brian, breakdancing. And I had a cousin that we called Heavy D. His name was Derek, and he used to have a stutter when he spoke, but he could beatbox to anything and everything, and he did daily. So I was growing up in this hip hop family that started with my mother and my siblings that led me to the piece that I'm going to freestyle for you right now. I'm going to be in Not Like a Robbery. I wrote something down because sometimes I have to write myself something to be inspired and know where I'm going to go when I want to flow. Because one of those things that, like I said, I think it was in me. It was in my bloodstream, and this was where I was supposed to end up. I just didn't know that it was going to take me so long to get here. And now that I've arrived, all I can do is show up and shine. Um, I wrote this down, and this is what I'm going to title my piece. Hip hop has me. The first line that I wrote, and this is all I got, and the rest is gonna be off the dome. I am the dope lyrics over a tight beat. Hip hop has me. I'm the dope lyrics over a tight beat. See, I didn't know that that's who I was previously, and I actually thought it was the opposite for me. I thought that I was the beat that was going to make your ass throb. Sitting in the club and it comes on, and the DJ says, "Oh shit," and you know immediately that this is going to be the song that's going to make you get up off your feet. It's legit. Then all of a sudden something changed. There was a whole different game. See, I was born in December of 1969 to be exact, and back then music was kind of eclectic. My parents were listening to reggae mostly. And every now and then there would be some African beats, some drums that were being played in my household, you see. After a while, there was more soul music, I guess. Something from Motown, probably. They would be listening to the bands and they would be listening to the music. And I would be listening to the lyrics and trying to figure out what I could do with them in the future, you see. I don't know why music had this effect on me, but it was a calming element in my life that was even before I became Gina Storm, turbulent. I was the only female child in a house full of men and in a testosterone filled household. My God, where do I begin? It was this crazy thing, like I was always in competition with my siblings. My brothers weren't competing with me. They loved me to infinity, but the only thing that I could see was that I wasn't an MC. When they would be out there doing their thing, they would have these ciphers and they'd go around in a ring and everybody would drop a line and somebody would drop a beat. And like I said previously, my cousin that we called Heavy D would drop a beat and he would beatbox. And they would drop these lyrics, and all of a sudden, the crowd would stop. There would be silence, and you would be listening to the person who had the mic. And I was thinking, this ain't right. I got some things I want to say every single day and night, but I'm scared too because they're going to judge me. You know how brothers do. I didn't think that I had it inside of me. And one day I met a dude, and he had lyrics too. But there was a beat inside of him, and it spoke to the core of me. And that's when I realized that I was the dope lyrics over his tight beat. I'm Gina Storm. Thank you for indulging me. In peace.
Yes, love that, Gina. Memories.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
King.
What's up? Hip hop has always been in my bloodstream ever since back in the day. You know, MCing on the ciphers in the streets, corners, and everything. Even got a chance to go in the studio, record a few things. So, you know, even going through things in life. You know what I'm saying? You hear your favorite song and you jam and rock out. You're in a different mood. So this is the thing. This is a piece I call "Move Around." Where would I be if I didn't have the sounds of long ago? Helping the skills inside a man that was born to ready roll. Being raised within a culture of many musical wonders. Black lightning with thunder working like street runners. Before King Atterbury, there was a young man struggling, thinking about the present and future, embracing something. Land of the Lost, finding the source, checking the feelers for. Treacherous 3, Grandmaster Caz, Melly Mel, of course. Cassette tapes from Park James, shared from my brother. Orange cushion headphones, playing sounds of comfort. My days have been numbered. I thank the 5 of the mid-'80s, Chuck D, Rakim, Kane, KRS, G-Rap is wavy. Life always complete with these artist songs I greet. On my own when I speak, lifting my spirit from defeat. So when I think back on how life was and how it is, thankful for my writing gift. I can handle what life gives. King.
Yes,
Okay.
yes indeed.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
You know,
Shay.
as everybody knows, every now and then, except Mojave, he doesn't notice. Every now and then, I will throw a wrench in the game. What's up, Gina? This ain't a bad wrench. This is a good
Okay.
wrench.
Not
This is a good
one
wrench.
good wrench has been thrown yet. I'm
All right.
waiting.
We gonna go back to Mojave, but we gonna go back the opposite way. I don't want a poem. I want the 5 top hip hop songs. Your opinion.
My 5 top hip hop songs.
Mojave, King gonna go first, and then when we get to you, you can say your 5, and then you can say your next poem.
I bet.
Oh. My 5 top hip hop songs. All right. I see you going there, huh? Fight the Power by Chuck D. Don't Sweat the Technique by Rakim. Smooth Operator by Big Daddy Kane. My Philosophy by KRS One. On the Road to the Riches by G-Rap. That's 5, right?
That's 5.
Okay.
Road to Riches, your number 1.
Huh?
Road to Riches, your number 1.
Yeah. I was short as a porter taking the next man's orders.
Gina Storm, let's go. You want to know my top 5?
Absolutely.
Wow. I in no particular order. My
But
top
one.
5.
Your number 1 got to be the number 1.
Oh. Okay, so start at 5 and work my way back to 1.
Yes.
Okay, so 5 would be The Show.
What you know about the show, Gina?
I don't have anything else. That's all I got is The Show. Number 4 would be Dear Mama. Number 3 would be Juicy. Number 2 would be One Mic. And number 1 would be Lose Yourself. Don't judge me, that's my list.
Hey, Julia, I know you and Tila Shell is in the chat. You guys can name your 5 if you want to be part of it. Come on, Brian. I seen you was writing them down. You was thinking that time, Brian.
Yeah, for sure. I was well, my number 1 joint is I believe it's Melly Mel, but I get confused. Africa Bambaataa, Melly Mel. I get confused sometimes because I'm old, man. But the message, the joint called The Message, that's got to be number one, period. Because it's poetical. I mean, it's rap. It's just, ain't been no. I mean, it's just phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Then I go Black Steel and the Hour of Chaos. Public Enemy. My Philosophy. You know what I'm saying? KRS-One. And D Nice, who had the honor of meeting, and he's a really nice guy. D Nice is cool, man.
My philosophy. I didn't mean to cut you off. Was very, very underrated.
Absolutely.
I don't think people really understand what he was. KRS is a very interesting figure. I don't think that he. I just say this. I don't think that hip hop really was his calling. I think that was just something that he does. Yeah.
But he's phenomenal. I mean, he just like Gina, he got that straight off the dome, freestyle joint is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a thinking man, yeah, he transcends rap. I think.
Yeah. I agree with both of y'all. I used to host at a network where they call me Lady KRS-One, and I was humbled and grateful, but I also felt like I needed to raise the bar because his messages were actually what you do, Brian, inspirational speaking, uplifting, and necessity. And it came in the way of hip hop, but what he actually needs to do is, and he may not agree with me, but I do, believe this to my core, he should be a politician. Because he speaks the truth in a way that it can be embraced. And if you can walk the walk, you can talk the talk. And both. He does. He lives the way that he represents himself. So for me, I think that in terms of branding, if I'm going to be referred to as Lady KRS-One, I can only pay homage to that brother by being the best sister that I can be. And I agree with both of y'all. He's underrated, and what he brought to the hip hop community has not been saluted in the way that it needs to be. So yeah, I couldn't add him to my list because I felt like it was biased. But I thank y'all for that.
Nah, he's definitely a top 5 MC. You know what I'm saying? And the other two I had was The Show. Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. Because that just encapsulates my whole experience. Like, I was still in junior high when that came out, so that was the jam. And then the last one, Bonita Applebum by Tribe Called Quest, which wasn't really crazy with the lyrics, but I like the jazzy flow to it, and it was just smooth. I like that.
Sometimes it's the beat, not the lyrics, Brian. Sometimes it's the beat, not the lyrics.
Correct. I like the flow. I like that flow too. It's like relaxed, and it's cool.
For me, as I can't. Hip hop is everything. I can't limit it. I can go like if you say what type of mood are you in, I can give you a top 5. But I can't.
Hey, we want Dwayne. We ain't accepting nothing but top 5.
All right, okay. I can do top 5 artists.
top five hip hop songs.
Hip hop songs, okay. Definitely, I'll have to say One Mic by Nas. That's definitely a classic. I'm gonna say top 5 vibes. Top 5 vibes that like relate to my heart. I'm gonna go with that because there's, like I said, it's never mind. Okay, if I go with Method Man, the one METHOD man, that to me is just a cultural energy that can't be, there's so many different avenues of hip hop that you kind of have to take away from to say that I can't. Okay, but another one I would say is definitely Tupac. I can't remember what song it is, but it's the one line that I remembered when I first fell in love with hip hop. It was like, do what you got to do, but know you got to change. Try to find a way to make it out the game. Whatever song that is my number one. Who else? Black Thought. I love Black Thought. Good Mob. Goody Mob. What was the one?
Goody Mob, Black Star. Oh,
yes.
Gee.
And there's this guy, Capital Steeds, a young guy, and he was he passed away. He actually committed suicide but he was the energy that people are given to, aligning their chakras and understanding vibrational energy. He was a young kid bringing that in lyrics to hip hop at a very, very young age. So I don't know. I can go, but we'll go with that. Is that 5?
That's fine.
Okay.
Hey, Mama, before we go back to Mojave to give his 5, you have 5. The theme is hip hop poetry night, but we know that a lot of poems can't be directly hip hop. If you don't have a poem on hip hop, it's cool. But Mama, do you have 5 hip hop songs? Your 5 top hip hop songs, Mama?
Well, mine probably from the beginning, from the early days, with Hip Hip Hooray and just the ABCs of hip hop. But my favorite, newest one was Affinity. I don't think she made it to the top, but you can catch her on the morning breakfast show. They had her on there. She's like one of the most brilliant hip hop artists I've ever seen, and I've seen her in person. And she's the same way. She's just like off the dome with no, not even a thought. Just like she's just gone with it. It's like her name is Affinity with an A. And yes, I have a lot of hip hop artists. I don't even know their names because of my age. I just can't remember them all. But there's a new ones that's out now that are just starting to really accept God and see God in their lives. And they're even hip hop and speaking on how God is coming into their life, and they know God did certain things that kept them here, and that's really turning me on a lot too, because they notice how there been so many killings and jealousy and just shooting each other, not even taking in consideration that that's somebody's life. They don't even care about life. So now that they seem to be getting closer to God, I'm starting to really feel happy about hip hop again.
Mojave?
Hold on. You. So I know this is a trick question, and that's the reason why you asked this, because you want to catch people all flubbed up and everything else in the hip hop.
No, Mojave, I was looking at your expressions when she said Black Thought.
Oh no, because I'm telling you right now, like I'm so organic with my hip hop. It's important to have organic hip hop. Now I can tell you that I'm as old school as anybody. I have a healthy, definitely respect for music. I grew up during the era. I was around for a lot of the stuff that's happening. My cousin J Rob was in the middle of a lot of the Bronx shit. But as far as I'm concerned, like I couldn't even give you like I can give you a top 5. That's easy. But what I'm telling you is like you have to do it by era, because every era that you grew up in is you got there's a different thing.
Exactly. That's what it's trying.
So you really can't sit there and be like, yo, it's this. No, because that's not it. But my top 5, I'm a De La person. De La changed me. De La changed, like I put it, you check a post on my thing, when Potholes in My Lawn came out and Plug Tuning, I literally grew my hair. I wore polka dots. You know what I'm saying? I wore brogans. I had funny looking clothes all the time. And I danced to house music while listening to that type of hip hop. That's the type of stuff that I was into, because it blew my mind for that new style of speak. So my top one, I will tell you that literally is Plug Tuning. That's like my number 1. My number 2 is Ain't No Half Stepping by Big Daddy Kane. That's my joint. You play that now, I will get up and cut a rug just to that joint, because it's timeless. It doesn't go nowhere. I love Chubb Rock. So when you talk about hip, like all my hip hop is timeless. Like if I play it now, somebody's going mosey on out to the dance floor, even they got a broken foot. So with Chubb Rock, it's like, man, there's like the Chubster. You got so many good, just different tracks. Now, for my last 2, I'm gonna bring it up to things like what it is now. So 2 of the people who I feel like really got a hold of this, like I'm gonna keep Black Thought in his own category, because my whole thing with the Roots, the whole Philly movement is just a whole nother vibe I can't even get into right now, because I'm literally thinking about going back to school and just doing a doctorate based off of the musical history of Philly and how it represents and how it just changed the culture. period. And all the different time areas and essence that came out of Philly, and all these people concentrated in one spot that have dictated the sound, much like how the South did it, much like, you know, California did it. There's so many different musical movements that came out of that. But for my last two, my number 4 will be J. Cole. Tales of Two Cities is my joint. I don't care what nobody tells me. You play it, I'm nodding my head, hands in the air. Now, that's what it is. Then my last one is my boy Kendrick Lamar. It's a tie between All Right and Mortal Man. And the reason why I love Mortal Man is because there's this artist. His name is Terrence Martin. He actually did a whole suite of Mortal Man before he gave it to Kendrick. So it's actually a whole jazz backdrop that he uses. And then Kendrick actually came and gave the matching lyrics to that joint. And if you know the history behind how they created that song and they came able to make it, you'll win just on that alone. But for Kendrick to actually tell a story about a beggar coming up to him and ask him for money, then he finds out at the end it's God, and how he sacrificed his salvation because he wouldn't give a dollar. That's a hellified thing. It's poetry. It's everything that you need in a hip hop song. So it's my top 5.
Well, you brought up two artists that the younger generation basically it's funny. The younger generation anointed these two as the top two, but for some reason they're not getting the credit that they deserve, and that's J. Cole and Kendrick. What in your opinion, Mojave, before we get back to the poetry, what is it about these two out of the younger generation that sets them apart from everybody else?
All right. What sets Kendrick and J. Cole is number one. They grinded. They wasn't overnight people. Like Kendrick did hella mixtapes before he got to the point. But his process of how he was writing and how he writes, his ability to represent street, but move to a higher form of consciousness and talk about everything that's going on that he's experienced at the same time. Unlike, like he's a much younger Jay-Z's 444, but he's experienced on that level. Like if you listen to his first album, Good Kid, Mad City, he's telling you tales. Like he's literally telling you everything that's happening, and it's all related to true story. And so everything that you feel, his angst, even when he's like, in the interlude, dear God, we come to you as sinners, he's trying to save his soul on the track. That's one of the reasons why it's important for him. And for J. Cole, not only that, is a person that he's so equally talented, but he also understands the culture and what it means and how it goes. And then for him to actually expose himself, like when he did his whole thing on HBO and he's walking around, he's not walking around like all these other rappers. He's literally walking around talking about meditate, do this, get yourself right, do this, earn your money, do all, you're not finding that in a lot of young rappers. You see all this culture for people saying, I can do this, I get hoes, I sell drugs, all this other stuff, where literally they're telling people like, this is where we're at. This is the movement. This is the social movement we're adopting. So they're social, they're street, they're lyrical, they're telling stories. They're encompassing all the elements of hip hop that most other rappers don't have. So when you're looking at all these other rappers, like I can't even listen, mumble rappers, I can't even listen to them. You know what I'm saying? I can't even do it. Even if I wanted to, I can't do it because it doesn't tell me anything. Like you can't tell me nothing about how much you sell and everything else. But when you talk about Kung Fu Kenny, and J. Cole, you're really talking about stuff. And then the other thing is that they shine on other people's tracks and make other people embarrassed to let them on their tracks. So you gotta put that
I'm you guys. One of the things why I asked the question and the reason why the order, I really like to see the expressions when artists are named. And I've been looking at Brian the whole time, and this is like in his wheelhouse. He's like getting the itch, like, man, I think I got one more studio session in me right now. Yeah, so with that, and like you guys said, hip hop poetry, it comes from the same, in the culture, it comes from the same foundation. And it's when you can appreciate younger guys like J. Cole and Kendrick and why they are like so different, like Mojave said, from these mumble rappers, they it's like they were in a time warp. If you ask me, like these guys is not they old school. If you ask me,
Yes.
so it's
Absolutely.
very interesting. But Mojave, you could kick us back to poetry.
All right.
Anybody in the chat, you guys can say your five top hip hop songs if you like to. I saw Julia's and I saw T. Lachelle's, but there's a couple people else in the chat. You could definitely let us know.
All right, no doubt. Let me see where we're at. All right, I'm gonna do this piece and get out the way. All right. It's called I Know When Broken Things Go. This will be my last piece, guy. I get ready for my show, Queendom, which is happening on Epiphany Radio Universe, 9 p.m. So I'm gonna spit this piece and I'm gonna go. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Pleasure's all ours.
Yo, if you want to have another hip hop show, tell me. I got a hip hop show coming up in February. I'd love to have y'all on it so we can talk shop because we talk hip, we talk it, we play it, we bring in young artists. The Hidden Radio Show, that's what we do on Blog Talk. Check it out. Anyway, let me do this piece called I Know That Broken Things Grow. All right. I know that broken things grow. Be it stupidity or bravery, they will not give up. Fighting for an inch, a crack in the sidewalk will permit a rose to grow in the most desolate of locations. And it be like that sometimes. And I be like that sometimes, emotionally struggling for a crack in a concrete relationship so I can blossom like a rose. And when you love someone broken, you cannot afford the risk. The cost may be some tears, but the truth will allow you to avoid the shackles of it. And I've been crazy glued, held together by spitting popsicle sticks for the longest time. And my choices have been made since inception. 2, I like them like that. Angry, light-skinned, emotionally inept and scarred, unable to trust themselves, so they place faith in temporary things like pimpish friendships. They give compliments for self-esteem when money's exchanged. This whole thing is prostitutional. They feel like a John when they get up and wipe the skeeted remains of usage on their spirit and jet. Return when they have something for you to get. And I like them like that. So willing to hurt because the hurt blinded them to love. And it's like the view of the Himalayas is a sight that they've never seen. Felt it, smelt it like iron in the fire. They have this deep-rooted desire to feel the love from someone when it's the one they should love themselves first. I like them like that. Someone willing to trust that even on the sunniest days, they don't question. They question their shadow. 3, the record in my head tells me that I found a woman just as volatile and angry as my mother, that the threats to leave her children in this life was labeled as love. The time we drove to my father's mistress's house, yelled and screamed for him to come out. Come home. Stop leaving my mommy all alone. She threatened to leave this life without his love. My mother black with blues that come with loving so hard and so long. My father black and strong. Coffee, guitar in hand, melody of the wind, and that's what I seen him in. Seasons that felt like summer vacations, waiting for the warm breeze of having a daddy and the need of having them both under the same roof. 4, a cycle, 2 generations deep, that I found a woman just as volatile and angry as my mother was to my father, that the threats to leave her children and this life was labeled as love. I knew that I loved a woman who fell out of love with me just as much as she fell in, compromised her trust with sin, and when I finally raced to her heart, I did not win. I was left with her choosing others as much as I chose changing relations, much like we change clothes. The fragment of my soul hollowed because what was cared was seeped out, leaving the stains of over conversations, what we were and what we were supposed to be, can and will never be. But we hold on for memory, some good times, the bottom of glasses and bottles and the bottom of women who believed in more in the phantom of me than I happened to be. A mix of brook up, heartbreak, and spit up of good compliments applied as reality to resolve to save the memory of being cracked. And I know that the moment that you let go of someone is the moment that your hands become free to hold on to something greater. I've watched my mother, broken, cry for my father while he loved on another and still welcome him home as a king. I know that family is still family, whether alcohol or crack had stabbed deep, addiction leading into the tears of the children, but still wanting to have family, no matter how much it hurts. I know that by becoming broken, I've learned to where the reflection of a smile through the fissures is visible as a mirror. No matter, we still dance deliberate, idiotic idiosyncrasies, feet fractured, ankles twisted into a twisted two-step, believing that we are somehow catching this rhythm. And I know that there are others who ballet, but they dance the same way, the same as life, as if life had them the way. And I know that broken things grow as we fight from this darkness into light, just to improve our plight, looking for that silver In between the concrete, grow, and it equals life. Intimacy.
Yes.
Yes.
That was beautiful,
Yes.
man. Poem
Yes.
of the night.
And yes.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
dope,
Yes.
brother.
Yes.
Yo, thank you, Mojave.
All right.
Bobby, thank you. Appreciate you, bro.
All right. Thank y'all.
That's wonderful.
Dwayne.
Oof. Speechless. Give me a second. Oof. That was okay.
Make sure if you guys in the chat, make sure you guys in the chat hit the like and subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, make sure you hit the like button. What's up, Dwayne? What happened?
I'm
You stuck?
yeah. Oof. Those were like multiple blows come in just directly at feel attacked a little, but that was great. Okay. All right. Here we go with one this I recently wrote. It's called So Far to Love, and I just wrote it about familial relationships, I guess. I hold space for you. Like the outstretched arms of green trees growing hold space for the rain, arms ever open, enjoying the glow of being washed over in your last storm. I hold space for you where when life's change bridges left me thirsty and the desert of forgotten promises carried on for far too long. I hold space, arms outstretched, diligence and recompense of the ache. It's a tireless love, ever beckoning forth the best in us. I hold space for you the way anemone find sustenance to subsist on the bounty left by a coy sea, tentacles outstretched and a body roll of Holy Ghost. Yes, just like that. I hold space for you in my heart. I hold space for you where we are symbiotic, pure love, surviving off the best in the both of us. And from this pose, I love you most. I love you still. I always will. I hold space in my heart for the best in us. And that's how I choose to heal. That's a piece. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Dwayne.
Ooh.
Brian.
Yes, dear brother. Oh, you want to do a little something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said Gina.
Brian, I heard Gina too.
Yeah.
Ah,
This book just came in. This is a book about COVID. It's called In the Mist. It's one of the people that blessed me to publish a little something in their anthology to raise funds, I guess, for COVID-19. So the piece that they accepted was called Daddy's Hands, and I'll go ahead and read that one. This has never been read. Like I said, it just came in fresh today. So let me see me take off my glasses a little bit and get into this. Daddy's Hands. As a baby, she clutched his fingers tightly and cried when he wiggled it free. And everyone knew she was a daddy's girl for sure. She held firm to his hands as she jumped puddles, skipped and avoided sidewalk cracks on her way to school on her very first day. He held her hand close for a picture as she looked stunning in her prom dress, and he gave a stern eye to her date. Her hands, his hands gave her away as wedding bells rang, but she was his little girl yet still. So this was the reason that she was now chosen to hold his hands for what might be the last time. And every time she felt the warmth leaving his fingers, she cried like a baby behind the mask among the sound of respirators. So he would clutch her hands tightly This time, he would never let go. No, he would not let her hand free because everyone knew she was a daddy's girl, for sure. In peace.
That was dope. I like that.
Wow. Mama, you up?
Okay, thank you. The name of this piece is Don't Pay That No Attention. And it's a combination of dialect from Africans speaking English throughout the years as it moves over towards rap and hip hop. And the name of it again is Don't Pay That No Attention. Can I speak in dialect like my grandmother? They call me crazy because I love to distort the English. They calls me ignorant because I love my pidgin and my broken English and the patois. They laughs at me and say, learn to speak the language. And I laugh at them and say, you don't speak well the language yourself, because I can speak in dialect like my cousins in the marketplace, like my grandfather who could fix anything that was broken, only his broken English he could never have fixed. I know their Bible, I know their words, he'd say. Me, I could use them quite grandiloquently and proper, could speak well if I chooses to, but I hadn't oughter. If'ns I do, they will call me uppity and highfalutin. They will say I've been reading and pretending, thinking I was better. But I say, don't pay that no attention. Pay attention to the beauty of my unique expression, the importance of my lesson. When I give you my metaphors of African wisdom and my ancestors, when I speak, I give you a peek into the depth of my tongue. Ignore the speech and the reach for the reason that I is telling you this here for. I breaks all of their rules. And I may sound like a geechee, but I'm not a fool. I love breaking their rules. But as they say, some things are sacred, so I act dumb to catch wise. Now, ain't they surprised when my actions show the level of skills that I perform on stages and rant my rages? Can I speak in dialect like my forefathers? Yes. It's my way of holding on to what we created out of this bastard language called English. But if you thinkins I'm stupid and dumb, you must be stupid and dumb. Because where I come from, we needed our codes to survive the cold, to survive the abuse. And it weren't no use to speaking proper and talking in proper order when your intentions were to run towards freedom border. When you take a check and recollect, you may see and may agree that we dropped rap in your lap, and all that dialect now gets respect. So can I speak in dialect? Yes, like I'm supposed to do. The defiant language we created for you, planted it as you grew. Funny part ain't so funny, cause see, all them so-called proper folks is now speaking this way too. Anyway, about them pale fake face folk, it's like we the art they life is imitating. And the way it goes, I'm gonna run my mouth. Cause there's a right way to speak English wrong. Right? Tell the truth and shame the devil. Cause they ain't get it right. They say a good imitation is flattery though, but I feel like they so good at doing us. I'm speaking to you cheering dialect, rap, patois, hip hop, pidgin, broken English, if you will. Just do it till you feel it in your bones. Keep creating a language of your own. When those people call you crazy, show them you're proper. Tell them to Keep trying to catch the vapors of your dialect. And remember, when they tries to diss you, they really want to be you. Miss me with the dissing. My feet you should be kissing. Dialect is the language of our African soul. We used to say back in the days of old, express yourself. Go on with your bad self. Say it loud. Get on down. Salute James Brown, Bob Marley, and others too numerous to mention. To them, we be hotty toddy, and they ain't nobody. So don't pay that no attention. Yes, I can speak in dialect. Course I can. Can you? In peace.
Yes, Mama.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes, exactly.
Gina Storm,
It's on me.
it's on you.
Okay. I'm gonna do something that I do this sometimes. I call it a key style. When I wrap a freestyle around a piece that I wrote previously. I originally wrote this piece on 7/17/2016, and I titled it That Mic Life. I'm going to freestyle around it and interweave some hip hop to keep on topic. So this is where we are with that. Oh, hold on one second. Sir, I'm Gina Storm right now, not Gigi. I need you to be quiet. Un momento, por favor. Okay. Silencio. I'm just saying.
Gina. Gina.
Yeah. Hmm?
Would you tell your grandson?
I told him that I had to Gina Storm and not be Gigi right now. And I needed him to be quiet, please, and silent because I dubbed him. This is his tribal name because he's a Mexican who's also Native American. His tribal name is He Who Does Things. He's 4 years old. Joshua. I'm Gina Storm. Thank you. And so we have an understanding, right? He's vacating the premises because in his mind, it's better for me to leave than have Gigi repeat. I love my grandbabies. So Quinn said what you said to your grandson. Yeah. I call him sir because he's a little man. He's not a boy. He's a little man. So my little man just left because he was like, I don't need this smoke. I wrote this piece on July 17th, 2016. I titled it That Mic Life. I'm going to weave some hip hop in to the piece that I wrote previously so that it would keep the topic. Let's see how it goes. That mic life. It's that mic life that I live for. Each time on the mic makes me need more. Sometimes I crave a mic. I need a stage in my life. I pen poems, but it's not making me complete. See, it's the microphone love that can't compete. I'm a freestylist. Lyrics are my art. Poetry spit from my heart. The mic makes me tingle. It's like kissing. I get butterflies in my tummy, really. I need you to understand it if you don't know what you're missing. See, I'm an MC from way back in the day, even before I realized that there was poetry to be my purpose in life, you see. I thought that I was going to be a hip hop artist, I was going to be a female rapper, I was going to be part of a trio, like Spinderella and Salt and Pepper. It didn't work out for me that way, but that's okay because I still love what I do every single day. See, I thrive on every set and every show. Sometimes I have men in my life that come and then later they go. Even if I take their last name on or I'm wearing rings that I got from people I was married to previously. Oh, can I get the ring on camera? Oh, see. Even my camera know that I'm just playing. Sometimes I get married and these people are not staying. They be in my life for a season, maybe for a reason, but not for a lifetime. So the second time that I got married to my two of one and two, I call my ex-husband's first and second biblical. My daughter's father's name was Solomon and the second ex-husband's name was Moses. People be like, girl, you tripping. No, I'm not. And I guess this is why I need you to understand explicitly. There's only been one thing in my life consistency. me and this need for using the words that God has gifted me. So I come on stages and also on mics, and even if I'm on live, it just feels right. It's a thing that I gotta do because I can only be me. I don't know about you. I love this mic. I need it every single night. It makes me get right. Better than anything that I ever rolled, lit, or smoked. No joke. One mic is all I need, and I'll take a toke. I wrap my hands around the stand while I'm clearing my throat. I'm good, but I aspire to be the GOAT. And the reason that I spit this piece that I wrote previously is this for me, because we were talking about how hip hop was an influence in our lives and what it means to all of you. And this is what it means to me. See, I feel like I just ate mom's spaghetti and my heart is beating outside of my chest and I don't think I'm ready. But I only got one shot and one mic and I got to do it right. So every time that I get an opportunity to, I'm act like I'm a fighter in the ring and I'm hungry. I don't know what you came to do, but I came to get it right. I'm taking a bite. I'm talking about I'm going to fill myself to capacity and satisfy my bite. My appetite will be fulfilled and everything that I needed before will just be laced by these skills. See, all I need is one mic, one lyric, one spotlight, one beat. I could be Nas, I could be anybody else that you'd like me in hip hop to be. But the reality is, if I'm him or Eminem, it's the same vibe you get from me. I play hype songs before I go on mics, and I've been doing that since Gina Storm's infancy. I was born about 10 years ago by the time I came on this here show. And the reason I did it was for all of you because I had to go. To have a responsibility, I have a duty and an obligation because hip hop is part of my situation. It is just the fact that I grew up in a household where everybody liked to rap. No, they were dancing too. There was some who were doing the beatbox. They had to do what they had to do, but I could only be an MC. And then it came to me, I wasn't destined to be a rapper, but damn it, I'm Gina motherfucker Storm and I got me. I feel this. It runs through my veins. I promise it confuses my brain. Sometimes I wonder how did this even come to be? Maybe in my J. Cole voice is my crooked smile. But I don't know, bitch, as long as you don't kill my vibe. That's my shout out to Kendrick Lamar because what Mojave said before is there are a couple of MCs out here who get me. One of them is Drake, and I don't care how you feel about him. You think he might be just rapping for the ladies, but I'm gonna tell you what he said to me. I only love two things, my bed and my mama. I'm sitting on one right now, and the other's downstairs. The famous three are down there with her too. And the one who's sitting across from me is the one I gave birth to. So for my shorty and everybody who has come before me, I need y'all to understand that I'm hip hop to the core of me. So even if I didn't end up being that MC and I never got to be actually the hip hop lady that I wanted to be, I'm still a queen in the genre that I dominate because I'm a freestyle lyrical artist. My name is Gina Storm and I'm a beast. In peace.
Okay, Gina. Yes. Yes.
All right.
That's what happens when I'm feeling myself. I love y'all. Thank you.
Oh, to
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's cold-blooded.
King.
all right. This is a piece I wrote the day before New Year. I did a video clip I shared with everybody, but I'm just gonna spit it right here for everybody. It's called Happy New Year. 2020 long gone. Some people lost their vision. Happy New Year. Better step up your living. Make this year different. Be thankful that you're here. So many lost their relatives. My prayers in the air. Healthcare is messed up, greedy for them dollars. Pharmaceuticals might be helping out their partners. COVID ain't a joke. Boost up your immune system. How we keep forgetting, pay attention, please listen. What's really needed is growth in society. Government changing quietly. We need more inquiries. Move accordingly, just like some of our elders be. Some be disorderly. I stand on grounds formally. Dream bigger, use tools so you can make progress. Leave alone the nonsense. I love hug what's honest. My ticket coming soon. Watch the poet in the room. The Guardian from Harlem, repping the 9th Platoon. King.
Absolutely,
All
absolutely.
right.
And I just realized something. Y'all can see me. I sign American Sign Language, so I was having a conversation and signing to my daughter with one hand because she got sent home from work because she was trying to man up and finish her shift for her clinicals this evening. She's going to be a medical assistant. And her supervisor said, you should go home. You're not well. So I salute that. This has been an amazing show. I love this. This is the
Thank
best thing in life. King Atterbury, thank you for considering me. Quentin, what you do is priceless. Brian, you're amazing. All the poets who come on. Mama Ola Daisy, I'm sorry, I didn't want to leave anybody out. My sister that's in the shadows.
Edwina, I'm in the
Edwina,
shadows.
baby, I can barely see you, boo. I was like, you know what? If it wasn't for the reflection of the light off the lenses of your glasses, the way my vision is set up, it knows this. Like my life is complicated. You know, sometimes my camera's not available. I have to be reminded to mute myself. I have a lot of moving parts in my life. And for me to be able to come here with you every Tuesday, even every other, even if we were home, we were not delayed, we were delayed. So here we are today. So happy 2021, family. And thank you for
Definitely.
allowing me to be here with all of y'all because yes, I love you. I mean it.
Happy
You're
New Year. Happy New Year to
New
all.
Year. Word.
Hey, with that, we're gonna close the show, the episode for tonight. Has anybody got any last comments and thoughts?
My last comment and thought was to say I'm glad to start the new year off with you all. You are a great bunch of people. I'm very impressed with everything that you're doing, and I'm so glad that you're a part. I heard some more stuff about Brian that just turned me to more of a big fan of his, and Quentin and all the stuff that you all are doing. I'm just like there for you. I'm gonna be 73 years old this month, and y'all keeping me young and keeping me in the loop, and I thank you.
Mama,
Glad to have you.
Mama, when's your birthday?
March.
Okay.
Aries the Ram, and I don't give a damn about the people in the world that just won't jam or get hip, y'all. Hip hop.
Okay, Aries.
Oh, my t-shirt says that I'm done peopling. And y'all my favorite people. If I have to people, I want it to be with y'all. Thank you, Mama all the time.
I just want you guys to know I appreciate you guys as well. You know, I'm not a poet, but I always tell people that I have the best seat in the house every week. Cause I listen to everybody. I get the opportunity to listen to everybody. I don't know how many people go over the broadcast, but I actually have to go over the broadcast to make sure that things are smoother than the last week, I guess. So I appreciate you guys being able to spend some time coming on here. I believe that you guys like we discussed earlier when you talk about our culture as most of us are African Americans, if we want to say that, or Native Americans or Native Black Americans, whatever term that we use, our culture is very, very unique within itself. Um, and I like to say that we are a mixed race, so to say. And I know that most people will say that race is a social construct, but it's also an economical construct that ties us in even further, knowing the history of our people and what we did during the Great Migration and our ancestors and so forth and so on. So I always like to hear poems and books, and I'm an avid reader. So it's always more of a pleasure for me to hear you guys because I know how it is just to have one book and you read the book in an hour and you got a bunch of idle hours going around. So I appreciate being in the situation that I'm in now prior to a situation that I was in before. So you guys have made Tuesdays with what I'm trying to do way easy and more pleasurable. So I appreciate you guys being able to come on here each week when King asks y'all to come on, and just want to tell you guys thank you a lot, and I really appreciate you guys. And if I could do anything, let me know. I mean, share your poems with me, and I'm gonna share them with the people that you don't know, my friends. I have no problem. The least that any of us could do, some of us aren't in the best financial situation, but the least that any of us could do with social media is like and share and subscribe. I mean, that is support enough because you never know who's watching your material, and your material, like Brian said, even if a person can't take you along the way with them because of certain things, but when you can sit back and be like, you know, I remember, you know, we was in a poetry show together in YouTube, and then you know you always got people that be like, no, you wasn't. That's a star. He in Hollywood. And you be like, no, I got the tapes. And then you go back and be like, look, this is the genesis of their stardom. And then, you know, like I said, sometimes it's not about talent, it's about opportunity.
Say that.
So, you know, I hope that you guys have given me the opportunity to hear you guys. So if it's anything that I could do, I do it. This is something that I'm committed to. I'm in this for the long
This is my
haul.
man's. No, but see, Stephanie, this XM Satellite Radio and Indie Radio Network and Clear Channel is due because of this. Because when people get opportunities, it's because other people made opportunities. I'm taking everybody who sat at the table with me to eat. Ain't nobody gonna starve. Matter of fact, damn spam. We eat steaks. Oh, I'm not on mute. I love you.
With that, Gina done summed it up, y'all. Everybody have a blessed night. Stay safe, and hopefully we'll see each other again next week.
Thank you, everybody. Peace, love, and poetry.
Love y'all. One love, one mic.